Are you ready? I'm ready. Let's do this. Oh, I totally did that wrong. Right, if it's Tuesday, it can mean only one thing, and that one thing is usually that I'll flub the intro. Thank goodness that Mike was not here at this moment to see the flubbed intro. You see, Mike is experiencing some technical difficulties, so he'll be joining us in a minute. But tonight we have a follow-up show. We've done 3 different episodes oh, there you go. Okay, are you back?
I'm back. Am I fuzzing out?
Yeah, no, you're better. Yeah, I just want you to know. I just want you to know that I didn't flub the intro.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
Totally did not flub the intro in the least.
That's all right. It's a standard opening intro, so you know.
No, I flubbed it. We've only been doing this show now for however many years. My voice is a little hoarse, Mike. I got a hoarse voice.
Like a little frog in your throat.
I got a little frog in my throat. So you may have to lead this dance a few times tonight.
Oh boy. That's a lot of effort.
It is a lot of effort. But Mike, the good news is this is part 3 of our Comics 101 writing Comics Writing 101. We're going to be talking about scripting. Now, for those of you who've been tuning in week after week, thank you for joining us. This is part of our Basic 101 series here on YouTube. We did part 1, which was the full issue page breakdown. That is on our YouTube channel. And then part 2, plot breakdown. So, Mike, can you just sort of give a little bit of color and summary around what you wrote about in part 1 and part 2?
Part 1, that was just us talking about how to break down the pages and right and left and cliffhangers on the pages and see what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then in part 2, I sent you a Batman idea,
mm-hmm.
where Batman is sent back in time to a few months before his parents' death, and then he has to make a big decision about what to do.
Wow. All right, so it looks like we have a comment already in, Mike. Fully on topic.
Twizzlers are in the bottom cabinet in the green room.
I'm glad that people are here for the right reason, Mike. The right reason, of course, is that you want to learn more about the craft and business of making comics. My name is Buddy Scler. I'm a comic book writer. And you, Mike, are also a comic book writer, but most of your credits are in television as a 3-time Emmy Award-winning television writer.
Yes. I don't have the Emmys behind me.
No, you don't. You know what's weird? I see YouTube shows and they have this really good intro. Hey, Kevin. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining. Kevin's a writer. Kevin combined his passion of horse riding and storytelling when he wrote one of his stories in comic book school in one of our anthologies.
Oh, was it a horse riding competition story?
He did something with equestrians. It was a while ago, so I don't remember, but it definitely had a horse in it.
Okay, well, there's a horse in there somewhere.
There was a horse in there somewhere. Okay, so in the last episode, we did a pitch, right? You talked about what your story idea, and then you went into plot, and you can see I put last episode. But you know what? Don't hold me to this. I'm a little tired and hoarse tonight. not that kind of horse. But tonight in this episode, Mike, we're going to be doing a full script breakdown. It's a major submission, and you worked on yours based on your own plot.
I did, and I sort of finished it, but
Sort of finished it. Good.
I didn't finish the whole thing because as I got, I'd say a little more than halfway through, I had another brilliant idea, and I wanted to throw that by you and the crowd, and to see what was going on, what thoughts were.
All right, so we'll ask the studio audience what their thoughts are. So in part one, yeah, we definitely did page breaking. We wanted to show you what it looked like if you were to do a 20-page comic and left and right pages. Mike, did you reference this at all as you were starting to write, as you were thinking about left and right pages and page?
I definitely did, because there was a time when I wanted a big 2-page spread, and I wanted to know, where to put it, how to map it out, so it was kind of in the middle of the book. The script.
Simple tool, but it works, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then last show, you literally went through, we went through live. How was that, Mike? Writing live? A little nerve-wracking, isn't it?
It was very nerve-wracking. Yes, I got a little nervous.
It's a little weird, but we did do that. So that too is on YouTube, Mike. People can go find that. And we did take audience suggestions. We fielded dinosaurs, a new villain. We did a little bit of everything. But now in this episode, you're going to break down for us your script. So let me just see if I have any other slides. Okay, so draft. So this is where we are. Oh, okay. Hold on. Boop.
Uh-oh. Wrong picture.
It's
going up later.
All right, here we go.
We got Kevin and Redheaded Ed having a nice little conversation amongst.
Yeah, they don't even know that we're here anymore.
They don't care about Batman.
They're like, I don't think I know. Okay, so Mike, are you prepared for real-time feedback from me, your friend and editor?
Yes.
You're going to take notes. You've taken notes a few times in your career, I'm sure.
Yeah. You got to have a thick skin for taking notes.
Okay. Well, you take your notes. Since this is draft, I will not pick on you for not having your name on the title page and the story title. Yeah, but you'll do that in the next submission, right? This is just sort of showing us how you think. Yeah. So, but I will tell you, I think you did a very good job. You worked visually in a visual medium, and you used dialogue extremely well to set up the scenario. So why don't you set this up for us and tell us what you did when you started writing?
Well, this was just, trying to make the first page very visual to draw the reader in. And I thought it would be very cool to see Batman swooping down on a line from the bat plane, and there's a big giant Tyrannosaurus Rex in the middle of a traveling carnival in Gotham City. Now, and again, this is all stuff that can be re-edited at the end, but I didn't know exactly what year to put, because if we go back in time 30 years, it kind of throws off the whole continuity of Batman and things. So I put 2024, but rethinking it, I would just take that out.
Well, look, it's clear you're not reading Batman every month, right? Yeah. But that's the nice thing about Batman. You can pretty much pick up any era of Batman. We didn't give you any limitations. You picked up the Batman probably that you grew up with, 80s, 90s. It feels very much of that time. And I have to say it works.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So number one, I'm gonna tell you this for the next submission. I don't like when the pages crash into each other. The reason being is because I go on like this. I'm gonna insert a page break here.
Okay. So artists want everything separated.
Yeah, artists will often print out all of the pages and then draw thumbnails.
Okay.
And what it does is it makes it hard visually to see. You didn't do anything wrong here. The way you laid out your dialogue is just as good as anybody else's. A lot of people like left and right, but since I did some lettering, I like this because it's 1, 2, 3, and you can grab this. Now, do you want this to be one block of text in one balloon, or do you want it to be broken up?
I just thought of it as one.
One. Okay. That's a lot of words in a thought balloon. I
Then
might
I would
say,
I would rethink it and make it two.
yeah. Oops. Over here. Like this. I would say dinosaurs died out. And then I might even put this like this, right?
Okay.
Right. I just do that like that. Okay. So I'm going to save as file, save as script breakdown. We're going to call this live edit. All right. So describe, you got your splash page, you got your credits. Tell me what's going on here. So you start off page 2 with 4 panels, which means you're giving the artist a lot of room for visuals. Had a little mistake here. Page 2, 4 panels. You actually had 6 panels.
I'm fired.
That's it. You're done with Batman forever. Okay, so talk to me about what you're trying to accomplish in this page. What was your goal on this page? What do you say?
Okay, so we needed to have a lot of action. And of course, we need Batman doing Batman stuff and something cool. And of course, how do you take care of a giant Tyrannosaurus Rex?
Well, with a bzzz like this. Yes. Do you make the sound in your head? Because I do.
I sometimes had to go and look up, like, what's a good electrical sound in comics?
All right. So this is a left-hand page. You put 6 panels on a left-hand page for action. That means your action is going to be pretty small. Is there any panel that you can trim out so this is 5 panels?
We could cut out, I would say, if you have to cut out any,
probably could you combine 1 and 2.
Yeah, you can combine 1 and 2. Maybe you could make the, like, panel 5. You could make that just a small panel inside panel 4, so it's just his hand and it doesn't have to be a full panel.
Let's do that. So we'll switch to small inset. Right, so we'll go small inset, and I like to color mine so that you see mine, and then I could say.
Oh, Glenn had a suggestion. How about saying modern day Gotham instead of Gotham 2024? Good suggestion, Glenn. Michael Giff. Do you know a Michael Giff? I don't know Michael Giff. Hello, Michael Giff.
Michael Giff, Thought Balloons Black. Are Tho Balloons back, Mike?
Yeah, Thought Balloons are not, but Tho Balloons are in these days.
They are the hit thing with the kids in the TikToks. What is he saying?
Sorry, but I can't imagine a T-Rex making Batsy do anything but yawn at this point. No, that's true. Bat's been through a lot.
Yeah. But we're going to just see as we go. But anyway, howdy, Michael Giff. I would, to answer Michael Giff's question, you know what? We didn't put any restrictions. Captions and thought balloons are generally a little bit old school. But if you want to use them, you use them, right? If it helps you tell the story, you tell the story. It is what it is. People will be enthralled with the story and forget if you've used captions or word balloons, sound effects or no sound effects. You just got to tell a good story. So you need to pull them in as quickly as possible. But I would not call them back by any means, Mike. I don't think you see it very much in modern comics at all.
I always enjoyed a good thought balloon.
I do too. Okay, so we'll go to page 3 and then we'll insert page break. Okay. So talk to me here. What was your goal here? It's a right-hand page, right?
Yep. We needed a dinosaur to fall, and then we had to introduce the villain, and also sort of leave it on a one. Oh no! We had to leave even if it's on the 2-panel opening, we had to leave the bottom side kind of cliffhanger-ish, like who's talking to Batman.
Yeah, so I'm going to say here, right here, I think you might be able to. Can you combine?
Yeah, probably.
Right? Do you need to show him beginning to topple and then crashing, or can you just show him?
You can just show him crashing. Yeah.
Keyframe of crashing. Okay, and that gives you a little more room. Now, you're not ending on a cliffhanger if Batman sees Dr. Octagon. Right. If you do the reveal on the last panel of this page, right, that's a right-hand page. Do you want him to appear on the right-hand page, or do you want to create the mystery? Who is this guy?
Well, this is what is this? Is page 3? One, two. Oh, yes. So we wouldn't. Yes, we wouldn't have revealed him on page 3. It just would have probably left it as "You were never any fun, Batman."
Right, and then people might think it's going to be the Joker.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to say not show, tease. Is Octagon a real villain, or
no, we got that
made
from
up
last week.
from our audience?
That was from last week.
That was from Sassy, right?
Sassy, yes.
Sassy. All right, so Sassy copyright.
Dr.
OS off screen. I always just write off screen.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't matter.
That's
I had to figure out what you were saying there. So now you've got Dr. Octagon, a skinny, nerdy guy dressed in an outrageous Old West cowboy outfit. His costume is pieced together out of octagons of various colors and sizes. He looks ridiculous. So is he a comedic relief villain, one of those ye old retro 60s pow bam?
Yeah, he's going to be like just one of the villains that Batman doesn't really care about.
Okay, so
but he does have a good power. Well, at least
all right. So you know you're going to play with page 3, right? Because now you have more room.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you make it cooler somehow, but yeah, you want to end here on cliffhanger. That's good. So you turn the right page. Now page 4, you're gonna not have a good intro to Dr. Octagon if you have 4 panels. You want maybe 2 panels, maybe 3 panels at tops, so that you give Dr. Octagon a full vertical on the left panel.
Okay.
All right. So you could put the description here. So we say, okay, so move description here. So talk to me about what's happening here.
This is just the intro to Dr. Octagon and a little bit of background on him. Now, this was another one where I kind of went back and forth about the thought balloon, thinking Batman could be thinking this, but I went with a caption just because I thought that would be a better way to go.
Well, could you have his computer tell him? Could you have Alfred tell him? Batman is a team, right?
Oh, thanks, Greg. Yeah, he's a team, but he's not going to have to.
Wait, did Greg spell it octagon? I thought it was.
It is. There's an octagon in here. Yeah.
Oh, the octagon is brilliant.
Yes.
All right. You know what, Greg? I agree. I did think the octagon was pretty good. Okay, so Dr. Octagon, you decide. Thinking. Let's say thinking. Alfred.
Yeah, but see, I don't. Like he's Batman. He's not going to call up Alfred and be like, "Who is this guy?" Because he clearly knows who he is. So.
All right. But he's very thinky at this point.
Yeah, so that's why I just put it in a caption.
All right. There's a lot there, a lot of words.
Yeah, who wants to read?
There's a lot of words, but I like he corrects. This was a nice touch. This was good. I like that. I thought that was real good. Let's give you a little green there just for some love. All right, where's the octagon?
It's coming up next. Oh, well, here's a suggestion. Octagon could monologue about his origin. It's true. Possibility.
All right, so you got a lot of options there. Okay. So talk to me, panel 2, 3, and 4. You're going to have to remove one panel so that Octagon gets a proper intro. You can come back to it. All right. Come back to it. All right. So insert page break. See, and some artists would like you to move everything over to one side and have a really wide margin on one side or another, just so you know. Interesting, right?
Interesting. Artists.
They're
They're moving things to one side or the other.
All right, go. Tell me what are we going for on this page?
Panel 5. This is okay. This is another action scene where we get to see what Dr. Octagon and his octagon can do.
All right, so we don't want to do this because then you're directing, and you would not like that if you were an artist, because you're like, why am I splitting it diagonally? What's my why are you directing my panels?
Oh, okay.
All right, same thing with the movie stuff, right? Like Artist Matter scoffs. He's even makes the sound scoffs.
Okay, that's true. That's true. Yeah, but I also wanted some cool shot, and I thought, and since Dr. Octagon is an Old West type of guy, you could have a cool gunfight scene, which I put in the I put in some reference.
All right, you put in some reference. Let's go take a look at your reference, and we'll stop the screen. Are people enjoying what we're doing, Mike? Because I'm hoping they are.
Greg is.
All right, so which one do you want?
It's probably the last one.
I tried to match the. Okay, so
like
this is your what you want. You want this sort
like
of
a
gunslinger
cool
feeling.
Yeah, like the guy in front would be Batman. You see his cape and his his utility belt and all that. He can do the cool cape moving aside thing, but just to have like a cool dynamic shot of them, in the Old West gunslinger thing.
People will relate to this.
Okay.
Greg said he'll stop. Tell Greg to keep going. Don't stop, Greg.
Don't
tell
stop,
Greg. That's why I literally tag you, Greg, when I tweet this. Okay. So I wouldn't stage direct so much and tell them how to set the panel. Tell them what you want. Don't solution too much.
All right.
All right. Opening up a black portal. Yep. Like, what do you see here? Just give us a sense of what you see, because you might not get with what you want. You don't want to be so prescriptive, but I do think, you want to be a little clearer. And then you get into tentacles, and I'm like, wait, he has tentacles?
No. The tentacles come out of the black portal.
Oh,
hey, you didn't even read this, did you?
No, I did. And then he throws the batarang and it cuts the tentacle.
Yeah, but see the portals in Dr. Octagon's octagon, he can open portals between different worlds and dimensions and stuff. So he's firing this gun, it leaves a black opening.
All right. Well, see, I didn't realize that. I thought he had somehow sprung tentacles. I'm like, why does he have tentacles? How much direction is given to the artist in the script? As much as you need. So, sometimes you just tell the artist what you're looking to accomplish. Sometimes you're very prescriptive because it is very important to get down to the detail, but you should explain to the artist why you're being so prescriptive. Like, this will be important later. It should be like a conversation between you, the artist, and the editor, trying to make sure that you're getting the information that is right. Your detail, we didn't do this, Mike, but, sometimes you'll set time of day, so that you have a sense. Is it the dawn? Is it the dark? Like, is it middle of the day? We don't know. So you need to put in as much as you need to know to get the script going. Funnily enough,
it's an octagon. How could you not get into it?
All right. So I want you to clarify the thick tentacles, because I didn't get it. It was actually, it reminds me of that part in Better Off Dead.
Oh,
he put his testicles on me. His testicles,
NT,
like an octopus. NT, big difference. Better Off Dead, Mike. Great movie.
Yep.
Hey, Jared. Thanks.
Hi, Jared.
Jared's dialing in from sunny Australia.
Oh, hello, Jared. That was terrible.
Oh man, you do that to that poor guy every time. That poor guy has to suffer. He's like, is he going to do it? Oh, he did it again.
Maybe.
All right, so you got 3 panels here. Talk to me about what you're trying to accomplish now. You're in the meat of the story now.
This was another action scene. Wanted Batman to do some cool flips and dodges to get away from these tentacles. And to have it look like he's going to be overpowered.
Yeah, I like this. I like You Can't Dodge Forever Batman. It is it's exposition, but at the same time, it's good exposition. I thought that was effective dialogue. Now, I like to see a little bit more dialogue and sound effects in the script. I know that you're still in draft mode and haven't completed everything, so we're only going to go up to where you went to. Mike's Aussie accent.
G'day, mate.
Well, Mike, I have to say that you know what, you do have a fan, and I am glad you do. Okay, you let me know if I have to pull up any pictures. Okay.
Yes, pictures won't come till later, but yes.
Okay, so now we're on page 7-8. This is looks like a 2-page spread, Mike.
Yes, this was the big one. Oh no, this was page 7. Yeah.
Oh no, page 7,
8 and 9 are going to be the 2 pages.
Oh, okay. See that I never put page 7, 8 panels. They'll figure it out. They go like this. Page 7, they'll see there's 8 panels.
Okay.
Save yourself some visual noise.
Okay. Again, I was, I guess, given too much direction for the artist because I was telling them what size to make the panels.
But that's okay. I mean, if you're talking about a small inset panel, what you're doing is telling them to focus on an important detail like a zoom. It's important, but it is not the dominant message on the page. I think it's fine. I think actually in that case, when you went into diagonal panels, you're putting a lot of responsibility on the artist to figure it out. If they want to do diagonal panels, let them do diagonal panels. If there's a reason for diagonal panels, like when you do that double page spread in the next page or two, then I think it's very important to go very detailed so you're clear about what you want. So I didn't think you overdid it on this. I thought this is a nice sequence as well.
Okay, yeah, this was just to get some close-ups of Batman being Batman. You throw some batarangs and they land on the tentacles, some big explosions. You see some creepy kind of stuff with the tentacles being chunks.
See, and that proof that I read it. The tentacles were cut off as shredded chunks of meat. So I did read your script, and I did think you did a good job.
Thank you.
Okay, panel 8. Let me just tell you something. 8 panels is a lot for an artist.
Yes, 8 panels is a lot. Yes,
so
I knew that.
Can you? So we asked, can you cut anything? If you can't, just recognize that to be fair to an artist, if you put a lot on one page, you have to put less on another page, sort of give them some fun as well. Do writers ever draw rough thumbnails? I do. Sometimes. I try not to be too prescriptive, but from time to time in Apocalypse Boulevard, if I wanted something specific laid out, or I had the sense that the artist might not follow like a good Z pattern to track the eye, I will do an occasional thumbnail, but I try not to make a habit of it. Some writers will thumbnail out every page, and some of them do it to as a confirmation that the page can be drawn. So early writers, your mileage may vary. It's probably not a bad idea for you to do the sketch on the thumbnail, but it might not go over well with a more experienced artist. And my artist keeps asking for thumbnails, but I'm really bad at stick figures. You don't have to be good at stick figures. You just have to be good enough to communicate the blocking, right? Like, so I don't draw very well either. So I just block with little dots and then little arrows about who each person is. Or as Mike showed you, take a couple of images for reference, and that will go a long way.
And speaking of reference,
so providing links to references and images in the script, I do that all the time, Andres. I prefer to include the image as a small thumbnail in the Word document, which I will render down as a PDF, but it's really small. But I will also include a hyperlink to an image for reference if I can. So I think it's really important because then the artist can then download that if they want to light box it, if they want to import it into another piece of software, or if they just really want a big version of it to draw from. I want to give them that option, but I do put it into the script, Mike, so that they know, like gunslinger image, they don't have to hunt for it, but I do put the link in there. Oh, and hey, Jared, that's what action figures are for. Take pictures of your
Oh, that's good.
look at that. You might think that Redheaded Ed was actually an artist as well.
You would think so, but
You
come
might
on.
think that. Okay, so Mike, the octagon explodes and Batman is caught in the blast. I just want to say that this was wonderful because you really did end on a cliffhanger with some urgency. When the octagon explodes, you see things sort of building. You get the ya, you get the scree in lowercase, you get the scree in uppercase, and then you get the badoom. And I thought that was a nice escalation. You did a really good job with that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Did you do that all on purpose?
I did.
All right, good.
Did that on purpose.
You did that all on purpose. Okay. So now this is the big day, right? You got a two-page spread, right?
Big one.
Page 8 and 9. Talk to me about why you chose page 8 and 9 for your two-page spread, and what's going to happen here. What are you trying to accomplish?
Well, 8 and 9, I figured because they were kind of in the middle of the book ish. Oh, look at that swag. And I thought that'd be a good place to not break things up, but to have a good, super actiony sort of shot. So you open it up, you're like, oh, great, right in the middle.
All right, so you're calling out reference pics. So let's stop this for a sec and show the reference that you called out, because I think people seem to be pretty interested in the reference, Mike. So,
Lego Man would be good too.
Okay, so talk to me. What are we bringing up here?
It's going to be the last one or the first one. That one.
So this is the explosion. You pulled this out of an issue of Dark Hawk. Did you look for something? Did you know what you were looking for?
Yeah, I looked for something, and this was what I was looking for. Something where Batman, I would put Batman more in the center. And so like the swirl of stuff around him would be, since he's going through time and different realities and stuff, that would all be in the background, like focused all around him.
Yeah, this is it's a very good example of, and this appears to be a page 1. So this must be a splash page. It says Dark Hawk 39, page 1, which is good. And it very clear for the artist what you're looking for. Now that artist may not give you exactly that.
Yeah.
But it does tell them how much you want to happen on that page. Okay. Yeah. And then there was a second reference here. So what was the second reference before I go back to the script?
There was, it's coming up later when he gets to the Gotham Park. So that was
no. There, 2-page spread. Okay, that's your 2-page spread, and then you do Robinson Park. So let's just show that real quick.
Which I had to look up because I thought it was Gotham City Park, but no, it's not. It's Robinson Park.
All right, and then the other one will be close up, wide shot of the park, close up of the park near the lake. See the reference panel. Okay, so we're going to go back to the script. You watching have no idea how difficult this is to toggle back and forth between screens. Yeah, so good thing Mike is very entertaining. Okay, so you got your 2-page spread. Anything else that you wanted to try to accomplish in this 2-page spread?
Well, this is one of those things where I would, or hopefully let the artist would just kind of go crazy. Let them put in their own things that they want to do, their own little tweaks, their own little, ideas of stuff that could be swirling around in the background. Just kind of let them go crazy.
I like it. I think it's good. It gave them enough knowledge and information where you were like, there's a lot going on. Always with the buttons. Always with the buttons. I'm an old man with buttons. Okay, page 10.
Okay.
6 panels.
Yes. Here's some more reference for you.
Okay, so Robinson Park.
We got Robinson Park, which is basically Central Park. So those are the reference pictures I got. Just something where we can see pretty much the whole park. So we know that it's,
is Robinson Park, you said, is established in Batman?
Yes, that's okay. Instead of Gotham City Park or whatever, they call it Robinson Park.
Okay, so it's the aftermath of the blast.
Yes.
All right. The full moon hangs low in the sky. This is the first time you've told me what the time of the day was. Probably would piss an artist off and a colorist off if you just mentioned it now.
Yes, I should have put it was night up in the first fight as well.
Time of day and placement on first page. So you want to be able to tell the artist, even though Robinson Park will show up here, that you got a time of day, right? Right. It's sort of like your log line in a, not log line. What do you call that? A slug line in screenwriting?
Now I can't think of it. It's just like a scene heading.
Scene heading. So same thing. You're just helping them understand it. So tell them up front, time of day and placement, so that if they have to have backgrounds right now, you didn't tell the artist at this point, other than the carnival. Now were they at a carnival?
Yeah, one of those traveling carnivals.
Okay, that's fine. Now, should that carnival still be in Robinson Park?
Well, we find out later that he's not.
Oh, right. You get flashed back in time. You don't. Yeah. Well, then you should mention that. You should tell them. Advise artists. Okay, so that you're in the same location. You want
in the same location.
What's that?
We're not in the same location.
I thought did he move through time and space, or just time?
Time and space. It could be, and that's another thing I was thinking of. It's just could just be a different reality. So it's not. He's not at the carnival place where he was fighting the dinosaur, and in the dialogue, a few lines below, you said Batman realizes that he moved halfway across Gotham. So.
Okay, so whatever it is, just work it out, what you think it is. This way you're communicating, because right now you're communicating to the editor in this first submission. The editor will say, like, tell me what we're doing here. Are we going directly back in time? Are we going to a different dimension? All fine, up to you completely. Or you may have worked this out with the editor ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So you get a close-up of the park near the lake. Smoke and tendrils, blah, blah, blah. He's getting up. Do you need this to be 2 panels?
No.
Okay.
Do not.
Just put maybe. You might go back and go, no, it's extremely important to show the actual lift step by step. All right. So pull back a bit. Why are we pulling back a bit?
So we can see the other people coming down the park, because there have to be a reason for Batman to get out of the park.
All right. So remember, not everybody will understand stage direction. And sometimes you have artists from all over the world. Sometimes English isn't their first language. So you want to make sure that you're clear about what pull back a bit means.
Okay.
All right. That's it. So coming down the path near the lake, we see a couple holding hands and chatting.
Yes, this was just a couple little throwaway lines, just to get a reason for Batman to have to leave quickly.
All right, so you have a problem here. You have 2 actions in the same panel. You've got the couple, and Batman looks in their direction. So either you have 2 actions, or Batman is looking at 2 couples coming down a path.
There's the 2 double doubles. That's a reference.
What is it a reference from?
to our good friend Greg. I threw that in there just for Greg. Yes, that's true. So I could just easily take out Batman looks in their direction. So it's
or since you've combined panels 3 and 4, you might still be able to pull this off, but be clear what's happening here. Also, are you showing the couple wearing retro clothing at this point?
I hadn't thought of that.
Okay. And what year are they landing in? Let's say you're landing them in a year. What year are they landing in?
Well, again, that kind of throws things off with the time frame, because I guess depending on how you see Batman and when his parents died, because technically they died in the 30s, I think, but it still has to be more of a modern thing, because the Batman time frame in the comics doesn't work properly.
No, it doesn't. But you could make a decision, and an editor would guide you on this, right? The editor would be like, we're going to set this in Batman 1981, which
Yeah.
means his parents were dead in the 40s versus the 20s or the 30s, whatever it is. So, and then that determines, do they have fries shaken at 2 double doubles? Like, I appreciate your inside joke with Greg, but will that be something that they would say at that point?
Yes, that's very true. Very true.
All right. So you got to make a decision on what are they wearing, what time period. So
Yeah, see, like, yeah, if I set this in 2024, then 30 years would be what, 90, 94?
Yeah, I mean, just play with it. Decide what
Yeah.
what you're going to do, and then the couple now you're going to really see them. Now you have to really know what they're wearing. So now you're going to have to say, if this is 1994, what clothes will he be wearing? It's really into swing music. And Gotilla strikes. There you go. Gotilla strikes, and the show is on. Okay. So couples where Batman woke up. So what do you see this as, like deep background? I'm trying to put my hands here. So you got the couple deep foreground, and then Batman in the background?
Yeah, he'd be shuffling off into the bushes, so into the shadows. They don't really see him. They would just.
Now this is where you can stage direct a little bit more so that you have, like, you're clear about what you want. What is this? What's this one say? Read Gotilla's.
Yeah, like too much. This is about the swing music. Even rich people were forcing their kids to dress like that.
Gotilla, you're on tonight, man. You are on. All right, so we got special effects. Russell.
Yeah, him going into the bushes.
Fair enough. I'm tracking. I follow. I see what you're putting down and picking it up, Mike. Okay, page 11. And folks, he didn't do the whole script, so it's almost over, and then he'll complete it. What are we trying to show here?
This is Batman trying to, I guess, figure out where he is. So he checks his little, I figured give him a little wrist communicator thing because he's Batman.
Good.
And he finds out that all of his signals are offline. So he can't call the Batplane, the Batmobile, or can't even connect to the JLA satellite.
I like it. Good tension.
Dun, dun, dun.
Good tension. Let's just give Mike a little bit of green love, because we like this scene. This is very good. You're showing and you're not telling. I like it. All right. So what are we doing on page 12? Now, by the way, you only did up to 14. So hang in here with us, people. We'll pull it through in the end.
There we go. There's Cotilla. Oh, there's Alfred. Yes. So page 12, just had to show him getting out of, you got to show him getting out of the park. And then I needed a way for him to get some clothes, since he can't change his clothes for the Batplane or the Batmobile. And what better place than a closing box drop clothing?
All right. So I will challenge you once again now. What decade is he in where they have this box? Right? Is that a modern construct, Mike? Has that been around since?
I didn't check, but I always assumed that they were always around, because, I mean,
it's a good question. You know, go back in time, see if there's anything that's referenceable that you can do something with. I don't know if this is a modern invention or when it was invented, but I know you need to get them the clothes, but these are the details that will matter and will resonate with your audience.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, so we're going to just show the newspaper and the gunslinger so that we don't have to pull it up. You're going to show a newspaper.
You'll have to remember what is said.
Just keep that in mind, people.
I'm not pushing buttons anymore.
How are people responding, Mike? Are they liking what you're doing?
I guess.
All right, so confirm avail. Okay, so you're just going to confirm. If you're making up the rules and you just need to defend them, you just need to be consistent throughout. All right. Close up of the back panel of the clothing drop. We see Batman's hand holding a small laser cutting through the lock.
Sound effects.
Yeah, but did he crawl into that?
No, he's and the back panel. They have a lock where they can get the clothes out of.
Did you get a lot of your clothes from there? And
I
then
used to,
they're
when I
locked?
used to go dumpster diving. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, did you have a small laser that you were able to
Well,
things open? No.
he's Batman. That's what he does.
Okay. Now he puts on mismatched clothes.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
but
how he gets his clothes. Of course.
What exactly?
Oh, this is a good one from Redhead. Yeah, that is where the robe came from. Yep.
Redheaded Ed is on fire today too. All right, so you got to be clear. What's he wearing?
Well, I mean, he's wearing, clothes that other people threw into the clothing drop.
1930s, 1940s,
yes, 1950s. That's true. Would have to be
right?
Whatever year it was.
Is he wearing bell bottoms? What is he wearing?
Okay. All right.
Stuffs his cowl into a plastic garbage bag. If it's the 1930s, they didn't have plastic bags, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Right. So we're gonna have to do some stuff. Looking down Gotham City Street, we see some iconic landmarks. Now, this is a tough one because you're in the dumpster, you're mismatching clothes, you're communicating that, and then he's on the sidewalk with trying to get placement, right?
Yeah. So I was
That's
imagining something like, and again, this would be a reference thing that I'd have to look up, like a little kind of strip mall where the clothing drop would have been. So you can just walk out onto the sidewalk and see like down a Gotham City.
Oh, I see. You should get reference for that. Get reference.
Okay.
Because I didn't see what you were saying until you said it, and that what you have a good vision of what you want, and you could, if you know a place where you can go and take that picture.
Okay.
Good. Now this was great. This was excellent. This was classic. Oh wait, is it page 12? Oh, you did it on a left-hand page. Oh, I thought you did it on a right-hand page where you force the page turn because you're like,
I didn't, but
who did he bump into?
I can move it.
Well, you might not need to, but now you're once again turns and flips the guy who collided him. Why does he flip him?
Because he's Batman, he's Bruce Wayne. So when somebody bumps into him, he's not just going to be like, "Oh, excuse me."
That's awfully aggressive for Batman, isn't it? I mean, he knows that he's in civvies, and he just
he's a little amped up from the fight he just had.
All right, okay. And is he thinking anything? He was thinking before. Is he like, oh my God, I overreacted? Right? I may have overreacted, or am I being attacked?
I didn't think that. So he could think that.
Who are you? Read this one out, including the mispronunciation of when.
Queena. I read mismatched clothes. I first think of things that directly oppose Batman's style, like bright yellow and pink Hawaiian shirts. That's nice. Is this kind of subtle visual gag humor? Yes. Could be. We could do that. That could be very funny.
What's funny is my hair sticking up just like this, Mike. And no one told me. No one said you may want to comb that. All right. Mike, that is Greg is on fire tonight.
Everybody's on fire.
Man, this is a good group. Okay. So he flips the guy. He stands above the guy, twisted foot on the guy's neck. It's pretty brutal. A police officer. So we're assuming he's in police officer clothing.
Yes. Now, see, this is where things for me sort of started to go off the rails because
just play it through. Tell me what you're doing. Don't go, because I don't think it was going off the rails.
Okay. Well, okay. I'll tell you why I thought it was going off the rails. This is where he meets Jim Gordon that we threw into the plot to do a B story. Just had to introduce him. And I thought, this was when Jim Gordon was a patrolman. So give him something to do. And
now, if you don't like the B story, you still have time to remove it. But, what this does is it gives Batman a sense of the fact that he has gone back in time, something he's done innumerable times. in the stories. So I thought this was really good. It just
But
felt
see
very
to me, and this is where it kind of threw me off, is I want him to still think he's in modern day Gotham. Like he's just he thinks Dr. Octagon's gun sent him somewhere, 3 miles away instead of, oh, he sent me through time, because he shouldn't know that immediately.
okay. But how long are you going to keep up the ruse
Well,
and the
see,
mystery if he
that
was
was the
putting
thing.
on
I
retro
want I
clothes?
want the last page of this issue to be him opening the door, or the doors to Wayne Manor be opening, which would put everything back. He doesn't have to meet Jim Gordon here, or he could meet him very briefly. But then that would mean putting either a lot more fighting up front, or a lot more of him kind of staggering around Gotham after the blast. Personally, I would rather see it have more fighting and stuff up front. So when he comes out of the alley with his clothes, he gets in a cab that takes him directly to Wayne Manor. We don't meet Jim Gordon. And then in Wayne Manor, he can approach the door, and either Martha and Thomas Wayne can be coming out, going to a party or something. And he's like, big shocker. Like, these are my parents, when he thinks it's going to be Alfred and, nobody else.
All right, so you have some work to do in those scenes where he takes the clothes out. There's a little bit of money in the pockets, right? How's he going to pay for that cab? You're going to have to get him there, which is
Yeah.
fine. I think you're doing a good job. But if you feel like that's the reveal you want, if you want that impact, you're right. Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Yes, I am. All right. So this may, right, because me spelling is always prefix.
Was there a typo? Oh, oh, I'm losing the things.
Yeah, you're falling behind here. All right. Okay, so you may end up killing all of this. And
Yeah.
this is where we leave off on page 14, because you knew you were going off the rails. But I thought this was really good. Any relationship to the commissioner, Commissioner Andrews? No, why? Eddie Andrews, he was 3 commissioners before Gordon. Sorry, you just remind me of him. I don't want to keep you, Officer Gordon.
See, because this threw me off, because, like I said, I want the big reveal that he's back in time to be a shocker. And if he's Batman thinking this guy is Jim Gordon from 30 years ago, he knows something's off already.
Okay, so that will also change this as well. Yes.
All this would basically be gone.
All right, so here we are. So we're at the end. There's no more. We'll save this. What I think this revealed to you, and I'm going to put words in your mouth, and you tell me. There you go. I'm going to put words into your mouth. This helped you see the value of plotting, right? Like that you could see that, like, limited number of pages. What am I going to do? Where do I want a big, reveal? You have to write to your reveal. If you remember in your plot, you knew what your reveal was at the very end.
Yeah. Just had to get there. But then figuring out a way to get there, at least for me logically, threw me off the track of what I was doing.
Right, because here's where you wanted to go. You wanted to go. Read it out, because I can't see it. I'm pulling up.
You could think, did Jim have a nephew or something, because he's disoriented from the time travel? Yes, that's possible.
All right.
But again,
so go ahead.
No, I was just saying that you don't want to reveal too much that he knows exactly what's happening. Like, I want the big reveal to be, and if he sees a younger Jim, he's Batman, so it's going to be going through his head.
So for those of you who were with us last week, and if you missed it, go back and watch the episode. This is where you're talking about, Mike. This is where you want to do, like 18, 19, 20. And that's why we built backwards. You wanted that cliffhanger, so you wrote the cliffhanger first. Then you knew that you had to get him to go to the manor, get to the manor, arrive, and so that you could have that full splash, right? You want that full splash so that you get the, reaction. So but you still, when you were writing, you're still pantsing, you're still, feeling things out. So you still get enough flexibility, but it is important to know what your destination is so that you could write to the cliffhanger.
Yes, very true.
Okay.
Is it okay to follow a panel heavy page with another? Is there a general rule mixing heavy panel pages with light panel pages?
There's a general rule that is not really a rule, but a good practice, which is if you've written a page that is people standing around drinking coffee in a diner, that's not visually
They
exciting.
would be sitting if they were at a diner, but
Right. Then that's boring. You owe the artist a really good action page. No comic book artist trained this hard to just draw people sitting, drinking coffee. So it's not so much a heavy page as it is giving them visually interesting things to do. Now, visually interesting things to do will tend to have fewer panels, right? It's just the nature of what you're doing. So, Mike, anytime you're at a 6-panel page, you should ask yourself, can I do this in 5? If I have 5, can I do this in 4? Right? Dilbert did what?
Maybe in diner, something in a diner.
Oh, all right. But, back to the question, pull that question back up. I think that it is a good practice to be aware of how much you're asking the artist to do. Make it fun for them. If you have 6 panels, you're not giving them much room to put backgrounds or turn cameras, make diagonal panels. So try to write with economy. Sometimes, Mike, I will literally just say, here's what happens on this page. You lay it out any way you want.
Okay.
Right? Just let them lay it out because they're the director. They know what they can do. Once you've constrained them to 5 panels, this is what happens on each panel. You've sort of committed that to that. Unless you say up ahead of time, I'm just giving you a suggestion, do this any way you want. But I would always try to say, if I gave them a 6-panel page, I'm going to try to give them a 3-panel page next.
Okay.
Just a personal preference to answer Michael GIF. GIF or GIF? GIF? GIF.
Gotta be GIF.
Michael, you have to type it in phonetically. Tell us how to pronounce it. Okay, Mike. So I think we all learned a lot today. What do you think?
I think there's some good things in there that people can take away. It's only the first time at Calvin Hobbes. Everything else in trailer park, you're a dump. I'm lost on.
I'm lost.
That's how I raised.
That is how I raised.
Was
raised. What did you raise? I am not peanut butter.
He's not Jif.
Oh, it's not Jif.
Not Jif.
Nah, GIF. There you go. Well done, Michael GIF. Okay. So, Mike, in the next episode, I think we're going to go through the edits. We're going to go through it a little bit faster. You're going to highlight what you edited. One of the things that I like to do with an editor, if I've rearranged something, often I'll color code the changes so that they can see where the changes have been made, so that they can see, oh, I made changes over here. They don't have to read as hard. And then if they say, okay, I then clean it up one more time, take all the colors out and shoot it on over for one more submission. This way, if I go, if you're good with this, I'll clean it up and resend it.
Okay. Color code is good. I would have just put it in bold, but either way.
Yeah. Color. Are people talking here? What's going on here? Soapy showers.
He gets to Wayne Manor. You never know what's going to happen.
I am not sure where you would go with that, but it is good stuff. Mike, Batman and the Catwoman body. Everybody wants to do that. Everybody wants to do that. So, Mike, I just want to say you did a great job.
Okay.
It is a little harder than it looks, isn't it?
It takes a lot more time than you think, because as you're doing it, you're first of all wondering, can I fit it all into 20 pages? And then when you start writing, you're like, oh, I need to change this and this and this. And how do I make it look visual enough?
It's hard, but that's why, a good plot. And then also, if you were doing a 3-issue breakdown, I think we talked about this. You'd want to say, what do you accomplish in issue 1? What do you accomplish in issue 2? What do you accomplish in issue 3? So I think after you're done with the script and we look at it next week, what would be good is if you thought about, all right, where would we want to go in 2 and 3, so that you escalate the tension and the excitement in 2, making them just run to the comic shop to get that 3rd issue.
I like the idea of that.
So we hope everybody enjoyed the show, right, Mike?
Yes.
We do want them to enjoy themselves. We hope that they enjoyed themselves. We thank them for coming back every week and making the show fun and contribute. Tell us what you think. You know, a little algorithm in YouTube likes when you make a comment after we publish the video. So while you're making the comments here, awesome. But we also definitely thank you, Jared Elvin. Pronounce it say it like he would.
Thank you, gentlemen. That was excellent.
Mike, that was spot on. I hope that Jared Elvin
so terrible.
Mike, I hope that Jared Elvin comes to New York or to California and is like 6'7" is like, I never thought that was funny.
Oh, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, guys. All right. So like this, tell us what you think in the comments. Like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend, tell an enemy, and we will see you again next Tuesday, where we will unpack Mike's revisions and where he's going with issue 2 and 3. Good night, everybody.